So here are four things I believe I listed here. I can't see the other page that you can do to get rid of illegal aliens and people who are don't belong here and people who are criminals from your community. You can enforce housing and fire code violations. Okay, these are laws in the books that say there's only so many people who are allowed to live in a house. It's a fire safety issue, and it's a housing issue for, burdening the system and various things. So you need to find out how many people are supposed to be living in a house and go to your code enforcement people and make sure they're doing their job. You can't have 40 people living in a single family dwelling. Yeah, well, you need to report it to your code enforcement officer, and you need to make him do something about it, because you need to, pressure, get together as a group and pressure your code enforcement, and if he doesn't listen, you go to the fire department, because that's a fire safety issue as well. And there's probably many fire violations in the same dwelling regarding fire smoke detectors or unsafe conditions. So that is how you can start making it uncomfortable. You want to make it uncomfortable for people who are not obeying the community's laws. These are things that the community agreed upon to make it a nice community to live in, and they are not doing that. So you need to force them to. And Dan already mentioned the 287G. It's difficult to get that through. We have learned recently that the best approach is to go to your sheriff. If you go to your council, they're going to say, they don't know anything about it. If you go to your police department, they don't seem to have the authority. But your sheriff is elected. He answers to the people. And if the people demand 287G training, he will either listen or he'll be out of office. So we need more people. I don't know if you're familiar with Sheriff Joe Arpaio in Arizona. I wish we had 150, 200 more of him in every community. It just would make a big difference. He knows how to enforce the law, and he knows how to be politically incorrect and too freaking bad. Make them wear pink underwear and eat bologna sandwiches. They're criminals. So a lot of the opponents of 287G, which I can't believe anybody would be against it, because if someone's committed a crime and they are not supposed to be here, what's the problem with sending them home? Right. So 287G, just to give you a little more detail, it basically, a couple officers will go for training, and when they come back, they'll have access to a database that's at ICE. And when they have people in the jail, in the county jail, they can run them through, especially if they have not produced legal documentation. Pretty sure they're not here legally. So they can run their prints, and they can run their names and anything else through the ICE database. And that will turn up a hit. If it turns up a hit, they don't need an ICE detainer. They can detain them on behalf of ICE. The problem with not having 287G is that they have to file for an ICE detainer. And that has a limit. It has a time limit. I think sometimes it's 3 days. If ICE does not come to pick up that illegal alien after 3 days, they have to release him or her back to the community, as long as they've posted bail. If they've posted bail for their crime and they are tagged as an illegal alien and they've had 287G training, they cannot be released. They can be held until ICE can get them. So that gives you a little more time, and that is what is happening all over the country. Is they are being released because time's up, and the lawyers will get in there from MALDEF and say you can't hold them any longer. So 287G enables the sheriff to hold them longer and actually get a hit and know that they are here illegally. So that's why it's so important. That wasn't the last page. Boy, it's getting windy. Okay, and then the last thing is, of course, the Crime Watch. This is the second to last thing. I can't read. You want to get involved with the Crime Watch. It's important to try to keep an eye out for your neighbors in your neighborhood, and once the police department is working with you, which is the first step, they will have a conduit. You will be able to tell them about. They'll have a way for you to tell. Thank you. They'll have a way for you to tell what's going on in your community. You can tell them at such and such corner I've seen drugs being dealt. And they will have to listen because you'll have this conduit and you'll have this crime watch thing going on. So it'll enable you to be the eyes and ears of the police. You're not going to go up and tackle anybody. You're not going to go up and you're not going to put yourself in danger. You don't want to do that, but you want to be the eyes and ears of your community. And it's so important, and it should be coverage of the entire city would be the ideal thing. And then you also, I kind of already mentioned this, you want to learn how your local politicians and how your local government work. You want to learn what are the rules? How do I introduce ideas into my community? How do I get them to pass an ordinance? You know, it's not easy to find this information, I will admit. They want to make it difficult for you to know that. So you have, the best thing to do is just go down to Borough Hall and start asking questions. How do I do whatever? How do I introduce an ordinance? And safety is in numbers. You get more people on your side, signatures, etc. They have to listen. Okay? So, as Dan said, you're in the right. These people, these outsiders, have come in. They're trying to put that on us, like we're the outsiders. But the people who arrived here with buses from Chicago were Malduff and Lulac. And they have exploited your town and used it for their agenda. Now we're being accused of using this for our agenda. What freaking agenda? It costs me money. It costs me time. The only agenda I have is because I care about this country and I care about towns like Shenandoah that are under attack by these million-dollar funded groups like Malduff and Lulac. I care and I want to help them. How can anybody be against that? That is my agenda, and I stand accused and proud of it. So keep the faith. Don't give up. Don't let them bully you, and we will see this through. Okay? Thanks a lot.